What's up, family? Back at you, making this video to let you know that the feeling is the secret to your manifestation desires. Okay, the feeling is the secret to your desires. Okay, whatever you want, you have to feel it. Okay, now it starts in the mind. It starts with a thought, but that thought connects to your heart. Your heart is your feelings, right? So what happens is you think about something. Now you can ignore it or you can run with it. Now if you run with it, then you start feeling it. That feeling creates a vibration. That vibration goes out into the universe and the universe reflects that to you back. It can happen like that. It can happen over time. It just depends on the level of your frequency and feeling. I've done this many times with many different things. That's how I started a lot of my businesses. I had the thought about it, or I got the thought from somebody, you know what I mean, whatever, and it's like, oh, I feel like I can do that, you know what I mean, or, you know, how somebody brings a feeling out of you. That's how you get into relationships and gain friends, because they make you feel a certain type of way. So using, your feelings is about faith. Okay? You have to have faith that what you thought about can happen and will happen. So I'll give you an example. When I started my car business, I got it from my best friend's nephew. My best friend nephew bought a car, drove it for a little while, then he sold it. So I got the thought from him, and then I felt I could do it too. I just had this overwhelming feeling about it. And I started, doing my research and, ended up at my first auction, buying two cars. But it all started from, that feeling that I had that I can do it, and I've sold hundreds of cars, so far. I'll make another video about that one day if you guys want me to. Let me know in the comments. But that business started from a feeling. Another lucrative business that I had, I don't really do it as much anymore, is pallets. And it's kind of funny because I got into that business because I was getting too bored with the car business. Because if you know anything about selling cars, once you post a car online and everything, now you're just waiting for somebody to come, and that takes time. Not too much time, depending on if you know what you're doing. But you got a lot of space in between that time. So I was just, online chilling, and I seen this, business on pallets, and just overwhelming feeling. I got the thought like, hey, I could do that. Then I had this overwhelming feeling like, yo, this might be it. And I did some research. A couple of my friends did some research, and I've been doing that business off and on for years. Anytime I need to, if I got a pickup truck on hand and I need to make some quick cash, it's like boom, get some pallets. So, I can name a lot of other businesses and a lot of other things that's happened from, the feeling. It happens in relationships. You see a girl and she gives you a feeling, and it's like, hey, I gotta, act on that. That might be your wife, or mother of your children, or whatever. It could be a great business partner, or just a great relationship that changes you and grows you. Hopefully, got to be picky. That's one thing men need to learn. Women know already. Women are picky as hell. Men need to be picky. But anyway, that's another video. But yeah, that feeling. That feeling is great. The feeling that your kids make you have. You know what I mean? That overwhelming love. You know what I mean? I finally, when my daughter was born, all my children, I finally, knew how it felt to love something more than myself. You know what I mean? And that feeling is amazing. And that from that feeling, it's always help me strive for better. Even when I messed up, you know what I mean? I get back up. You fall 7, get up 8. You know what I mean? And they're a big part of that. They're a big part of why I never went to prison. They're a big part of why I used to make this joke. I'm like, a lot of y'all niggas is alive because of my children. You know what I mean? It kept me from crossing lines, even though I'm not really like that anyway. But hey, any man's capable of getting busy. But anyway, I didn't cross lines and go but so far in the streets because of my children. You know what I mean? I got out the streets. I got a job, and I worked that job for years, and then I got another job, and I worked that job for years. And I started my first business, and then started my second business, and you know what I mean. All that transition from being on the block to the trajectory of my life all the way to now is a big part of how I feel about my children and wanting to be there for them. So, you can do this with a lot of different things. You can start small, like with manifesting a parking spot. You know what I mean? Get into a parking spot and it's kind of crowded. You can say to yourself, have the thought, like, I'm gonna manifest a parking spot, and then feel that you are. I'm about to manifest a perfect park, and you feel it. I'm about to manifest a perfect parking spot for us, or a really good parking spot for us, and it happens. It goes back to my old video on how you can control the weather. You know what I mean? You gotta have that thought. Yeah, I thought about it and I felt it. I felt I could do it. You know what I mean? In the mighty name of Yahshua Jesus Christ, of course. It's not all me. It's God. It's the God in me. But embracing feelings can be really beneficial, or they can be horrific depending on what type of feelings you're embracing. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. It's the same thing. People have a thought, and then they feel, whatever they're feeling: anger, depression, jealousy, envy, resentment, whatever they're feeling. It makes them do something stupid, and then they've affected the lives of themselves or others. So you use that power the right way. You know what I'm saying? Feel things that you want. Feel yourself successful. Feel yourself in love. Feel yourself happy. Feel yourself abundant. Feel yourself grateful. Feel that gratitude. Feel grateful that you're alive and well, and that you can do things. You can travel. You can work and make money, and you can take care of your children, and you can eat good food, and you can make love, and you can spend time with your family and your friends, and you can, you can get whatever you can do. You know what I mean? If you're alive to do it, do it. But it all comes from a feeling. Nothing starts from anything but the feeling of what you desire. You know what I mean? Now, you can help your feelings with your words using affirmations, and I'm gonna make a video on that another time on the power of affirmations and how much it affects your mind, body, and soul. But like I said, everything starts, from feeling what you want, feeling what you desire, and embracing that feeling until it happens. You know what I'm saying? The best way I can explain it is that you just have this unwavering faith that what you want, you can have. Or you have it, or you've achieved it. You know what I mean? But embrace the power of feeling it. You can feel it beforehand. Whatever you want, feel it beforehand. Go on that test drive of your favorite car. Go walk in that neighborhood, or go to that open house of the house you want. Go to that school you want. Whatever you can do, you hear it from. I don't want to hear it. There is no excuses. You just got to get more serious about these things. See, we be serious about dumb shit all day. We're serious about sports. We're serious about clothes. We're serious about jewelry. We're serious about looking fly, beauty. We're serious about gossip. We're serious about, the news, quote unquote. We're serious about all these different things. We need to be serious about how we're feeling and what we're using our feelings for. Are you using your feelings to feel crappy and be and treat others crappy, or using your feelings to be happy and treat others happy? What you picking, crappy or happy? Look, hands high, happy's happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, man. And it's a lovely thing. It's a lovely thing to fill yourself into your desires. Because you go to another place. You go to a higher place. You go to the unknown. You have to embrace the unknown. Feeling is embracing the unknown. When you feel you're somewhere you want to be and you're going that way, you're just stepping into the unknown. Because the brain is a record of the past. Anytime you get caught up in your thoughts, think about when you think about things. Most of the time you're thinking about the past. So when you got to catch that, rewire that, and think about the beautiful future. And that's the unknown. And feel it. You know? Feel that you can get into shape. Feel that you can lose weight. Feel that you can gain weight. Feel that you can make more money. Feel that you can be healthier. Feel that you can be kinder. Feel that you can be more loving. Feel that you can be an asset and not a liability. Feel that you can get clean off of drugs and alcohol. Feel it. Feel it, and you'll know it, and you'll do it. I promise you. I promise you. And I ain't just talking out my butt. I'm 39, from the hood. I've been through a lot. I ain't got to go into it because we all got our story, but, you know, real recognize real, right? So feel. If you real. Later. Love y'all.